Rainhill High Street near Liverpool.
OK, pop your cards in for your balance.
A post office which is the heart of the community. And for the boss here, awards for her community service.
Cheers, love, bye-bye.
And now Sarah Barlow is literally speaking out for around 1,000 colleagues, having set up the campaign group Voice of the Postmaster. So when she found out the post office bosses were taking large bonuses just for cooperating with the public inquiry caused by post office mismanagement, what did she reckon?
I think it was disbelief. I don't think any of us could rationalise how you could take a bonus for giving evidence on such an important case that you caused. I don't understand why you'd ever be given a bonus and why anybody would think that would be OK.
They're not the only ones angry. Check out the Business Select Committee last year.
The postmasters and the general public are quite entitled to feel that this has been a grubby backroom financial deal for the chief executive.
And there the stories seem to stay. Big, bad post office executives lining their own pockets. Last week, though, the post office told Channel 4 News all the executives are paying back their public inquiry bonuses. So, story over. Well, not quite. Channel 4 News has a slew of partially censored documents obtained under the Freedom of Information Act. They show the notion that post office executives cooked up this scheme on their own is very far from the truth. In fact, the notorious bonuses were planned, executed and signed off by two government departments, the Business Department and the most powerful one of all, the Treasury.
These bonuses should not have been suggested, they should not have been signed off, and they should not have been paid. And what this story reveals is that, frankly, ministers were asleep at the wheel while people were paid significant sums of money, which, frankly, they should not have been paid. I mean, you wonder what government ministers were doing.
It's July 2021. The Post Office writes to the Business Department, tasked with the bonus sign-off for their top bosses. An appendix lays out in detail the bonus scheme for helping with the public inquiry. Delivery of all the required information and support for the Horizon inquiry satisfying the requirements of Sir Win Williams. That's the judge running the inquiry. Turn a couple of pages and here it is. The amounts of money being paid out across various bonus schemes, including the public inquiry one. Lots of money. So MPs have been lining up to blame the post office executives in ever more colourful terms. But the fact is, those bosses couldn't have taken a penny in bonuses if it hadn't been signed off by government departments and ministries. And that fact has thus far more or less escaped scrutiny. Also in July 21, red, blue and black rewrites, government officials sweating over signing off the public inquiry bonuses, stressing ministers will also want assurances that the proposed approach will be able to withstand external audit/scrutiny. Now that document comes from UK Government Investments, a Treasury-owned company. Proof that the Treasury was behind the bonuses. Other direct references to the Treasury abound in these documents. The documents show the then Business Secretary, Kwasi Kwarteng, agreed to the deals. We asked him why. He told us, I questioned the amounts and as I recall we gave them a lot less than they asked for or expected. The Post Office Minister at the time agreed that the public inquiry bonuses should never have happened.
Clearly you don't want to be giving out bonuses for an inquiry, during an inquiry, when you've got all these postmasters that are suffering so badly.
So we showed him the document where the bonus scheme is clearly laid out.
It's judging you on how you've done at your job to see whether you get your full pay package or anything else. So that's the measure.
If it is, how come they said, oh sorry, yeah, this is a disaster, we'll pay it all back?
Well, that's because I don't know is the honest answer, because again that was after my time. But I think at the time what we did do, we looked at the metrics there, and we looked at the performance. We made sure that what we didn't think was excessive, which was the first offer, was to be paid out, because that's totally inappropriate.
Pop your cards in.
So back in Rainhill, how does all this play with the voice of the postmaster?
I think it's absolutely unbelievable. I think it's, you know, it was absolutely, we were gobsmacked as an organisation that the post office could sign this off, but the fact that the government can sign off these bonuses for doing what you're supposed to do. It's cause and effect, isn't it? You've caused this incredible situation that's ruined people's lives, and you're getting bonuses for trying to correct it. I just can't even put into words.
In a joint statement, the Business Department and Treasury said, "We reject the claims made," but in the very next sentence confirmed Ministries approved the overarching structure of the bonus scheme. The Post Office also confirmed the government signed off the scheme. How on earth 2 government departments came to sign off on the bonuses remains unanswered. Alarmingly, the current Business Secretary doesn't seem to know how the system works. Here's Kemi Badenoch at the Business Select Committee in the autumn, talking about the bonuses.
This was something that was news to us as ministers. I found it really shocking, but it's the individual contracts, and we can't interfere with the contracts between the Post Office and those executives.
Well, that's certainly not what the Post Office says. Here's its boss at the same committee just a few months earlier.
Clearly, my salary is set by the Secretary of State, and my schemes and bonus schemes are set by the Secretary of State as well.
So we asked Liam Byrne what he made of the Secretary of State, Kemi Badenoch's comment.
Well, shock, because when you've got decisions like this, frankly, these decisions always cross a minister's desk. When you've got a hot potato like the Post Office and you've got something as controversial as bonuses always are, ministers always oversee those kinds of decisions because they're politically sensitive. What has clearly happened here is people have just sort of looked at it and just sort of thought, oh yeah, let's just give them the money. And frankly, that was frankly wrong.
We asked Kemi Badenoch to comment, but she hasn't responded. 2 fundamental questions arise from all this. How could the Treasury and Business Departments ever have agreed it? And could it happen again?
No, thanks very much for that.